People are fed up. They're no longer depending on the federal government. They're no longer depending on legislators. They no longer depend. I see y'all in the chat. That's what gives me peace. They no longer are depending on the National Guard, Biden, the police station, the mayor. Shout out to the mayor of Chicago. Shout out to the mayor in San Francisco. They are no longer depending on any entity in order to make sure that they protect what's theirs. They said, you know what? We tired, boss. We's tired, boss. These criminals is walking in and they feeling more and more empowered every day. Listen, don't y'all know that criminals, I've seen videos where criminals don't even run no more. They pace. Miss Bree said, please. Okay, Miss Bree, I got you. I got you, Miss Bree. I stopped cussing. You got to give me a little bit of rope here, guys. Y'all got to give me a little bit of rope. Thank you, K. James. Oh, man, K. James, I love what you got going on over there, K. James. Thank you. Criminals is not even running no more. They don't even got a getaway car. They walking home now. They gonna go in, bust your head open, walk into the place, get all of your jewelry, and then continue to pace on out. Because they already know you ain't gonna do nothing about it. What you gonna do? But the people said, we's tired, boss. We's tired, boss. We're no longer going to subject ourselves to this criminal element that's happening in society. And we gonna let the criminals take over our cities? Nah, not today. Let's get it popping, y'all.
4 guys dressed in hoodies, sweatpants, and ski masks carrying backpacks and hammers charge into Princess Bride Diamonds in Huntington Beach and attempt to smash cases and rob the store.
I just saw like one of the reflections in the glass.
But employees saw them coming.
There's a bunch of dudes with hoods on coming in.
And fought back.
I immediately kind of got up and just
Woo!
ran to the front of the store to try to help out.
Dallas Baca is seen punching and hitting one of the would-be thieves. Another employee also joins in punching.
Look at that woman.
Like, I was just kind of stunned that it was like happening. But then as soon as like I saw them like coming in and like you're fighting, Lily's fighting, I like also needed to get in there too.
Dallas's older sister Sarah grabs the closest thing she could find.
I was just looking for something big.
Look at them criminals.
To like.
What kind of criminals y'all got running in there? They can't even see. They pulled their hood over their face. They masks is turned sideways. They don't know which one is left. They don't know which one is right. They said the people are tired. The people are exhausted. They put everything that they had into this business. They haven't even made sales this month in order to pay their rent for the location that they at. They mama and they dad is tired. They've been working this store for their whole life. Everything that they have is tied up into this business, the possibility of retirement, so on and so forth. They invested in their inventory, and you just going to walk in, smash the glass, and think that that's going to be the end of the conversation? Listen, if you corner a dog, I mean the most docile dog, if you corner an animal, eventually it's going to bite you. If you corner an animal, eventually it's going to bite you. People are tired of what it is that they're having to subject themselves to inside of their own businesses, their own homes, their own cities, and their own streets.
Hit them with, and the stool was like right there, so I just ran up, grabbed the stool, and then I hit the guy over the head.
Hey, my man's had mad squabbles though on the low. Homie had mad squabbles out there on the low. He had hands.
With the stool.
He had mad feet too. Look at this.
The 4 men, likely not expecting a fight, retreat. And Sarah and Dallas say they left empty-handed.
So far, we don't think that they've taken anything.
The jewelry store is family owned. Sarah and Dallas's parents opened it in 2006. They say nothing like this has ever happened before, but after seeing the many smash and grab robberies in the news, they knew it was a possibility.
I think people do have to be aware of like what's going on and do the best that they can to protect themselves.
Sarah and Dallas say they both just reacted.
He got mad squabbles, yo. Mad squabbles. People are tired. So these guys are actually pretty lucky. They pretty lucky. They pretty lucky it wasn't a pistol behind the wall in order for these people to be able to address them.
Thankful no one was seriously injured and hopes their actions sends a message to anyone who is thinking of committing this type of crime.
They feel like they can get away with it, but I'm really happy that we were able to stop them and stop that from happening today.
I'm wondering, here's my question. Here's my question as we navigate through this and we better understand what's going on. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to be reading that shortly. Here's my question, right? What is that conversation like on a ride home or when you get back to the hood? When you get back to the spot, because they planned this, they all went and got their gear. They all went and got their Nike hoodies. They got their masks. They ordered it from Amazon or they went and got it from the gas station. They put their gloves on and everything like that. Shout out to Self-Made Forever. They all went and they planned this out. And they went and located the store and they said, we're going to come up on some jewelry. We're going to go to Princess Diamonds. We're going to come up on this jewelry. We know that they've been open since 2006. But we're going to address the situation and we're going to come up and we're going to sell the stuff online or we're going to sell it in the hood. And then once they got beat up, especially the little one with the gloves on that got kicked by the women, when they got beat up and my man had mad squabbles, what is that conversation like on the way home? Do you then be like, you know what? Crime ain't really for me. If I would have got beat up by two women and a guy with mad squabbles and it's four of us, I'm going to retire. I'm going to take that as a sign that God was trying to show me something. God is trying to tell you something. And it's time to retire from criminal activity. You not cut out for it. This is not your lane, fam. I mean, what do you tell your homeboy? Hey, fam, why you ain't get her? Hey, fam, you seen her go and pick up that chair. You seen her kicking me. Why you ain't get her, fam? What is that conversation like? Hey, man, you know what? I'm out. I would have been like Trey from Boys in the Hood. Hey, Doughboy, let me out the car, man. I wouldn't even have drove all the way home with him. I would have walked home. I would have had to reassess my life to better understand why I'm in here trying to rob Princess Diamonds and why it's not conducive for me to continue to hang out with this group of people that can't even have my back. Real talk. I'm going to assess my life choices at that point. I got to make some adjustments in my life because this is not good for me.
Caught on camera, visitors and businesses joining together to stop a suspected shoplifter in Scottsdale.
Most beautiful story here is that everybody got united. People, they knew us or they didn't know us, they were there for us.
Look how old these people are, man. Look how old these people are, bro. Come on, man. Y'all robbing the senior citizens, the people that's in the community, the people that pay the taxes, the people that employ people. They just wanted to open up their own business. Come on, man. Why y'all got to go after the most vulnerable people and try to rob the people? And y'all think that it's cool to hit jewelry stores. That's because these rappers keep influencing y'all.
And they came to our rescue and our help. And they brought every piece back.
Anna Marina Solikai was getting ready to put up a display of jewelry at her shop, Marina Jewelers, when a man walked in and went straight to the display.
He knew exactly where the expensive product was. He just grabbed that case and started running.
Solikai ran after the man, later identified as 53-year-old Troy Bell.
Sir, you too old and your hairline is too crooked. First of all, you need to let it go. He got that Tory Lanez up there and he need to let it go. Tory Lanez is at the top. Listen, criminal activity, no bounds. They old, they young. They got dreads, they got crooked hairlines. They trying to hold on to it. They got beards. This is the same dude that cut his hair, went and got him a toupee at the top, went and got him a hairpiece, and now y'all talking about he's Zaddy. This is the type of man that will fool you into believing. This is why I won't let the gray girl in. Tell Messy Mathematician that this is why I will not let the gray girl in. Because people like this is out here making it look bad for us. Look at that hairline. Look at the hairline. Look how crooked it is. Do we need to expand our criminal profiling abilities, ladies and gentlemen? Do we need to expand our criminal profiling abilities? Because clearly, look at this man in here going for the expensive jewelry and getting manhandled by the citizens. Shout out to the citizens. Let me give a round of applause for the citizens. And you know how I know? You know how I know? He know that his hairline, because you look in the mirror before you go out. You look in the mirror before you go out, okay? You know how I know his hairline? He knew that his hairline is crooked because he gonna try to take the picture like this from the side. Like we wasn't gonna be able to line it up and realize that the hairline is still crooked. Yo, listen, if your hairline is messed up, let it go, fam. Don't keep taking your picture like this. Don't keep taking your picture like this from the side thinking that we not gonna know that you gonna straighten out your hairline on the picture, but we not gonna see the angle that you holding your head at. Fam, we still know that your hairline is crooked. Stop brushing it to the front and then brushing it to the back, trying to make it seem like you got extra hair. You don't. I know what's really happening out here in these streets. His beard look cool. That hair gotta go. And he out here being an old criminal. See, I'm really modifying my language right now because I'm doing it for the people that want to put the video on in the daycare and the church. Shout out to the people in the daycare and the church. We got over 1,800 people in here and climbing, and everybody ain't hit a like for the YouTube algorithm and for the Facebook algorithm right now. Let's continue.
And I started screaming and shouting to everybody outside, to all my neighbors, please to stop him. He's a thief.
To her surprise, people and neighboring businesses rushed to stop Belle. She says the items taken range from $10,000 to $55,000. And it wasn't long after until police arrested the suspected shoplifter.
During that confrontation, that jewelry got scattered everywhere. Some of it landing in the bushes, others here on the sidewalk, some even making it out on the street. So the community banded together once again to find all those missing items and brought them back to the shop.
Strangers, they picked up all these diamond pieces, expensive diamond pieces. They all returned to my store. They all gave me back all my product. And
what have I been saying for the past, I don't know how long? What have I been saying for the past? Listen, if you look at all of these people that came to their rescue, hold on, look, check it out. Let's see if we can find that scene before this man ended up in the bushes. If you look at all of those people, if you zoom in, thank you, Jeremy Davis. We got the best morning show on earth. If you look at all of those people and you zoom in, what do you see? I hate to bring this up. I hate to be absolutely honest. If you zoom in on your phone or you zoom in on the TV and you look closely, what do you see? You see all people in this community that don't necessarily look like us taking control of what it is that they see happening to a fellow business owner. For the longest, ladies and gentlemen, I've been saying we all know who the culprits are inside of our community that is doing all of the wrong. They don't even hide anymore. They got TikToks. They're going to be on Instagram in order to floss. They're going to show you the scammer money, and then they're going to say, we got this from scamming. They're going to tell you how they do it. They don't even hide. They park on their mama lawn. They get a good night rest or they get a good day's rest, and then they hit the streets at night and they start to prowl and they start to look for cars that they can rob in. We all know where the chop shops are. We all know who the drug dealers are. We all know who the robbers are. We all know who the killers are. We all know who the dudes that like to drive up to the high schools and plot against the little girls that's under the age of 15 are. We all know who the monsters are. We all know who the women beaters are. We all know who the cheaters are. We all know that you shouldn't be going with that guy and opening up your legs to him because you already know that he no good and that he's already shown you that he's no good because all of your homegirls told you that they slept with him and he's no good, but you still gonna open up your legs to him anyway. We all know what's happening inside of our communities, but we are the only community that refuse to address it. Why? Why? Shout out to my people, Local 600 over there in Dearborn. I salute y'all. I used to be Local 600 myself. Why? These people, all she had to do was the same way that they did it on the riverboat down there in Montgomery, Alabama, and the dude threw his hat up, and y'all want to get up there and scrap. But when it comes to making sure that y'all protect y'all communities, when it comes to your kids being able to walk down the street, the drugs that's happening in your communities, the people that's robbing your stores, making it a food desert, you ain't got nothing to say. You ain't got nothing to say. All she had to do was say, hey, this man is stealing all of our stuff. They was like, what? She threw her proverbial hat up, her figurative hat up, and they all went and stopped this man. And not only did they stop him, they went and looked in the bushes for all of the jewelry that then came out when they was holding him down and kicking his butt, held him for the police to come. And then they all returned the jewelry back to her and they said, listen, you safe in this community. We don't care what the laws are saying. We don't care what the governor is doing. We taking this into our own hands. At what point do we start to take back control of our neighborhoods, our homes, our property values, our communities, and stop waiting for somebody to come over there and save you? How many people are you going to blame instead of taking control of your own neighborhood? I remember when them neighborhood watch signs used to mean something in the neighborhood. They don't anymore. All the neighborhood watch signs is they watching out for the police just in case the raid van pull up so they can move the product over into another crib. They got the lookout. Your son is a lookout boy. Your son is riding around on his bike and he being a lookout boy just to make sure that they pay attention to the robbers, the scammers, and the people and the police and the raid van that may come up so that they can make some adjustments. Don't you know that they setting your son up? Your son is hanging with the bigger boys and a bigger crew and you think that he's safe because you a single mom and you ain't got no father for your child and you refuse to get back with your baby daddy and you opened up your legs to the wrong man in the first place. Let me tell you how they grooming your son. They grooming him to be a thug. You know how they grooming him to be a thug? Because the mid-level dealer is going to collect the money, right? They going to make sure that they talk to the person and then they going to send them around the block or around the crib in order to be able to get the product. You know who going to hand them the product? Your son. Because they don't want to touch the drugs, but they know that your son ain't got nothing to lose and he just want to be down anyway and he making pennies anyway. And they just going to give him a little bit to break him off to make him feel like he a part of the crew. When the police is surveilling or when they doing hand to hands and they trying to get up and work their way up to the mid-level and then to the higher dealers and then ultimately to the plug, your son going to be the first person that's at the forefront of that movement. And what's going to happen is they're going to teach him how to not snitch. So now he going to get some football numbers or he automatically going to get a drug case or he going to get a felony on his record because they waited till he handed enough drugs over to the wrong person in order to be able to hit him with some numbers. So now if he snitch, he's considered a snitch for the rest of his life and they got him on surveillance camera in there talking with some soda and he asked for a corned beef sandwich and he on the first 48. If he don't snitch, then he going to be sitting in jail in order to be a real N-word to make sure that he keep it real for the homies. That's what they doing with your son while you at work because you decided that you wanted to do the wrong thing and align yourself with the wrong people. They grooming your son to be a prisoner. And he going to be making my license plates and then you're going to be telling me that it's systematic racism when in reality it was a choice. It was a choice. It's straight up a choice. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? At what point are we going to take control of our own environments, our own neighborhoods, and stop putting our children and the ones that come after us under duress based off of the fact that we know who the problem is, we know where the problems are, but we refuse to address it and enable the people that even is trying to work in our own interests and our own behalf of what's going on.